Welcome back, guys. So as you may or may not know, our trusty news reporters let you know about the Diablo beta on Friday the 13th. Well, the weekend's now gone, acts have been completed, hundreds of thousands of runes have dropped, mistakes have been made, mostly by me. And what do we think about Diablo 2 Resurrected? I don't know what you think, but I'll tell you what I think. Yeah, it's okay. They say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, and it's really difficult to judge a game where there are still multiple difficulties to play on, and you've only played half the game on the easiest difficulty. Let's not forget, when it comes to Diablo, the end game max level farming and player-driven economy is what makes the game what it is. And we aren't going to see that by level 20 and finishing Act 2, where none of the items are worth anything really, because come launch, they're all gone. A remaster of a game, though, is meant to strike that nostalgia nerve, and does Diablo 2 do that? Abso-bloody-lutely. The ambience, the background music, the zones all scream nostalgia, and for anyone who's sunk some serious hours into this back in the day, it will hit you hard instantly. Not to mention the cinematics, which look absolutely delicious. From what I've seen so far, it really is well done, but is it done enough? You didn't think I was just going to sit here saying how amazing it is, how amazing it sounds, without giving you at least some of my opinion, did you? For me personally, and it is a personal opinion, I've grown as a gamer, and as I'm sure many of you have, and actually switching between 2 and 3 abilities, spam clicking the right mouse button all day, doesn't really hold the same appeal to me as it did back in the day. But like I say, this is extremely personal. This isn't to say I didn't have fun while I was playing. Tearing through ridiculous amounts of mobs with a friend is strangely satisfying, but like all dungeon crawlers, you're just waiting for that rune you're after to drop, or that yellow item that you can identify and hope that it's an upgrade. To me, the gearing in the game is the biggest appeal. I love the unknown and picking something up and not knowing what it's going to be when you identify it. Much like any remaster though, the mystery isn't really there for anyone who's revisiting for nostalgia purposes. People already know where to go and farm at lower levels, where to get runes they need to make overpowered pieces of armor or weapons early, or even the absolute quickest way to level and the best builds for each class, which, let's face it, there's websites full of the best builds because the game's been around for years and years. I would compare this to WoW Classic, but it wouldn't be a fair comparison. Because in WoW, you almost have to play with people, and a hell of a lot of people playing Classic at launch had been on private servers. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot that hadn't been on private servers, obviously, but everything moved so fast and everything was already planned out. The preparation that went in from hundreds of thousands of players was to get that edge at launch over other players. In this game, however, people can have that edge through knowledge and years of playing on servers such as Project Diablo 2, but really it's one of those games where you interact more with people you know than people you don't. You may be one of those people who jump from game to game doing stuff with randoms, but I would still say the majority of people will be doing things with people they know, which means actually the knowledge and skill of people outside of your little bubble isn't going to have much impact on you and your enjoyment of the game overall. This is a massive positive for me, and it may have started out sounding like a negative, but if you're like me and you have the memory of a goldfish that has dementia, and even if you did play back in the day, you'll be surprised at all the basics you've forgotten, which makes the old game all of a sudden feel new. The key to enjoying this though is to be playing with people of similar experience. Just my opinion. If you jump in with the big brains who have been theory crafting and running hell runs for the last 10 years, it may give you lots of knowledge and you'll hit the ground running, but it will remove that element of exploration and discovery, which really would be a shame. As nice as the game is, and as fun as some people will find this, and no doubt sink hundreds of hours into it, this will be a game I play casually. I'll never aspire to be anything other than a noob who's just out there trying to get a few upgrades here and there, because it seems more to me personally as a game that I enjoy playing with other people rather than just farming the same thing over and over again, trying to get rooms to drop, even though that's a massive part of the game. I'd say the main reason really is purely because I don't find the combat particularly engaging at all. It may look half new, but it still feels old. It would be unfair for me to judge too much when it comes to what's a bug and what isn't a bug, but some points of combat just felt outright clunky. The reason I say it wouldn't be fair for me to judge is because I really don't remember how it played back in the day, in comparison to how it's playing now in the remaster. But an example would be, towards the end of Act 2, you go into an arcane sanctum, which has a lot, and I mean a lot, of stairs. And if you're a caster like me, I'm firing spells that go along the floor. I was playing a druid, by the way. Stairs made fighting anything an absolute nightmare. The spells don't travel up or down, so I spent more time trying to get things to follow me down sets of stairs so I can actually hit them than doing anything else. It was more frustrating than fun at this point. It was the only majorly frustrating issue I encountered though, and like I say, it could be unfair for me to say it should or shouldn't work like that just because I can't remember that far back, but it didn't make for particularly engaging combat either way. I suppose if you're watching this, you're just trying to gauge whether you should buy the game, you shouldn't buy the game, is it worth investing your time in? And personally, this is just my opinion and take it with a pinch of salt. But if you want to walk down memory lane or you have a bunch of friends that are going to play it, I'd say it's worth the investment. I think you will have a ton of fun. But as much as I hate to say this, guys, if you're looking for something new to play through and really invest time into a game having never played it before, I just think there's so many other options that are dungeon crawlers like this, but obviously just up to date, better systems, even graphically better, and probably large amounts undiscovered. Don't get me wrong, no matter what game you play nowadays, there's guides all over YouTube, but this has had years and years and years and years to be everything to be discovered, every single possible rune word you can get, etc. Whereas I think if you're looking for a new experience, maybe this is not the place. I think this is probably more for nostalgia, but again, it's only my opinion. But if you enjoyed the video, I appreciate it was a short one, but I just wanted to let you know what I thought of the Diablo 2, basically Resurrected, after the beta is now closed. So like and subscribe if you did like the video for lots more content, general gaming content, not just WoW, not just Diablo. You know, there's plenty to come, lots of new world coming soon as well, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, or even consider joining the channel as a member. Have a look at that as well. But yeah, peace out, see you on the next one.